This is the part 3 of the chapter. In this part 3, we will be looking at two sub parts, that is the connecting links and the vestigial organs. Let me again remind you, we are still speaking of evolution, theory of evolution, evidences and everything. So let us just continue with the discussion. Again, evolution जो हमारा हुआ है उसको प्रूव करने के लिए there are other different concepts also. One of the main concept is the connecting links. So let us take the example directly start. Okay, look at this animal. This is a duckbill platypus. Okay, this duckbill platypus lays eggs like reptiles. Now you must know that reptiles lay eggs. जो reptiles होते हैं, for example, the lizard in your house is a reptile. The crocodile is a reptile. They lay eggs and give birth to children. So this duckbill platypus lays egg like reptiles, but shows relationship with mammals too, due to presence of mammary glands. So even though it lays eggs, the child that comes out of the legs, it feeds that child based on his milk. It means it has got mammary glands. So which means that it is a connecting link between reptiles and mammals. Not only that, a platypus also has hairs on its body. बॉडी पे हेयर होना ये स्पेशल फीचर किसका है? मैमल का है. यू आर अ मैमल, इवन यू हैव गॉट बॉडी हेयर. सो reptiles don't have body hair, but duckbill platypus has both the qualities. It lays eggs like reptile and has features like body hair and mammary glands like mammals. So what is this? So this duckbill platypus is actually a connecting link between reptiles and mammals. So platypus is a link between reptiles and mammals. And ये फैक्ट को भी प्रूव करता है कि जो भी mammals है ना वो reptile से ही आए हैं. Again, let me take you back to this slide. See, all these mammals that we are right now, maybe rabbit, maybe dog, maybe us, these reptiles have come from these mammals have come from the reptiles itself. और इनके बीच का लिंक कौन सा है? Platypus. So this hence platypus is called as a connecting link. Now again, let us come to the main slide. Yeah. Now look at this lumpfish. Lumpfish is a fish, which means it is an aquatic animal. वो fish category में आता है, Pisces. But this lumpfish breathes, it has normal lungs. So it breathes two lungs. It has to come out, take the air inside its lungs and again then go into the sea or into the water. So again, this lumpfish is a connecting link between fishes and reptiles और mammals. हमारी तरह हम तो normally breathe करते हैं ना, with help of lungs. तो lungs से breathe करता है ये, लेकिन रहता fish की तरह पानी में. So this lumpfish is a connecting link between fishes and reptiles, which again means कि जो भी fishes, जो भी reptiles आए हैं ना धरती पर, वो कहाँ से आए होंगे? तो वो fish से आए होंगे. Again ये this proves this fact again. The reptiles that you can see, ये कहाँ से आए होंगे? तो ये fishes से आए होंगे. Okay, so again fish and इनके बीच में there is this lumpfish and reptiles और हमारे बीच में there is this platypus, and hence these are connecting links between different categories जो प्रूव करते हैं कि हमारा इवोल्यूशन इसी की तरह हुआ है from bottom to top. Okay, now this is the second sub part of part 3, connecting links and vestigial organ. So what are vestigial organs? So as the word vestigial corresponds to waste organs. तुम्हारे बॉडी में बहुत सारे ऐसे organs हैं जो waste है, जिनका तुम्हें कोई उपयोग नहीं होता. Some of these are, see, this is a human body and the first organ is this tailbone. So we know that we have evolved from apes. So we have evolved from apes and apes had tail. And ये tail को move करने के लिए पहले tailbone होता था. This was connected to the tail. So now that our tail has disappeared, we do not have tail at all. But still, what is happening is this tailbone is still what we have inside our body. So this tailbone is of no use to us because we have got no tail, obviously. So this tailbone is a vestigial organ in human beings. Okay, हमारे बॉडी में tailbone है, लेकिन tail ही नहीं है तो इसका उपयोग क्या है? तो ये हमारी बॉडी में ये vestigial है. हाँ, लेकिन ऐसा है कि अगर ये मेरी बॉडी में वेस्टिजियल है तो किसी और के लिए वेस्टिजियल नहीं हो सकता ना. अब मेरी बॉडी में इसका कोई उपयोग नहीं है, बट इन द बॉडी ऑफ अ मंकी इट हैज गॉट यूज, इन द बॉडी ऑफ अ काउ इट हैज गॉट यूज. सो देयरफॉर ऐसा जो ऑर्गन जो मुझ में वेस्टिजियल है, इट इज नॉट कंपल्सरी कि वो हर किसी में वेस्टिजियल हो. मुझ में नहीं वेस्टिजियल है लेकिन मंकी में तो इस्तेमाल हो सकता है ना. सेकेंड, विजडम टीथ. एज यू ग्रो अप यू विल कम टू नो कि यू विल गेट विजडम टीथ ऑल्सो, जो तुम्हारे मेन टीथ के बहुत पीछे आते हैं ऑन ऑल द फोर साइड्स ऑफ योर जॉ. सो दिस टीथ आर एक्चुअली ऑफ नो यूज टू अस. सो इवन विजडम टीथ इज अ वेस्टिजियल ऑर्गन, तुम्हारे बॉडी में कुछ काम के नहीं है. एंड द थर्ड वन इज योर ईयर मसल्स, योर ईयर मसल्स. सो एज we have evolved from apes, rabbits, not rabbits but from apes, monkey-like animals. So all of them had ear muscles. Why? Because previously animals used to move their ears. In order to hear something हम कान को हिला सकते थे, लेकिन अब तो हम कान को हिला नहीं सकते ना. We have lost that quality, but still we have got ear muscles. So अगर कान को हिला ही नहीं सकते तो ये मसल का फायदा क्या है? तो ये भी तो वेस्टिजियल हुआ ना, ये भी वेस्ट ही हुआ. And hence there are certain organs in your body which are at all of no use to us, and these organs are called as vestigial organs. There are a total 100 organs in your body which are vestigial. Okay, if you want the list, Google the list once. Okay, now let us discuss part 4 of the chapter. In this part 3 we have seen evolution, the proofs of evolution. Sorry, in part 2 we saw evolution and proofs of evolution. In part 3 we went we talked about connecting links in vestigial organs, which were again related to evolution. But then now let us study evolution in much more detail with the help of scientist known as Darwin. Darwin was the first person, or you can say Darwin is the most renowned person who has given lots of theory of evolutions and how this occurred. Okay, and in this theory of evolution, the main theory that he gave was the theory of natural selection. Evolution कैसे होता है, क्यों कुछ organisms ही आगे बढ़ पाते हैं, कुछ उसमें से कुछ extinct क्यों हो जाते हैं, ये जो है ना, इसके ऊपर किसने बात किया? डार्विन ने बात किया. And डार्विन ने एक theory दिया. Darwin said one thing, the survival of the fittest. According to Darwin, those animals who are fit to live on the earth, only they will survive, and those who are not fit, they will die. जो हेल्दी होगा, जो फिट होगा ऑर्गेनिज्म, वही सर्वाइव करेगा, और जो नहीं है वो मर जाएगा. अब जो ऑर्गेनिज्म सर्वाइव किया है फिट, दे विल रिप्रोड्यूस प्रोलिफिकली. मतलब जो फिट ऑर्गेनिज्म है वो बहुत ज़्यादा रिप्रोडक्शन करेगा. उसके बच्चों में से भी जो फिट होगा वही सर्वाइव करेगा, जो फिट नहीं होगा वो मर जाएगा. सो दैट इज व्हाट डार्विन सेड, द सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट. एंड हेंस यू कैन रीड दिस. He published a theory of natural selection which spells the survival of the fittest in his book. You see, as we discussed, according to Darwin, the only animal that is fit will survive or else will die. So look at this photo, you can clearly see the animal who is adapting, जो खुद को change कर रहा है as per conditions. Okay, सिर्फ ये survive करेगा because ये fit है, and जो fit नहीं है वो मर जाएगा. But besides this, what he says is fit तो survive करेगा ही, but उसके अलावा भी there is something called as natural selection which decides whether this animal will live or not. So fit है या नहीं है, that is one factor कि fit है तो survive करेगा. But इसके अलावा there is one more factor that is called as natural selection. Read this statement. However, besides this, natural selection also plays important role. So there are two factors that will decide whether the animal will live and evolve or die. The first is how fit he is. अगर वो fit होगा तो जिएगा और आगे evolve भी करेगा. Second, natural selection. So now for this natural selection, let me give you an example. See, now there was a place in England called as Birmingham, and in this Birmingham there were two kind of moths. Let us say butterflies. There were two kind of butterflies that people used to see there. One was the black moth, other one was green. Let me write it down for you. One was black moth and the other one was green. Okay, so these were these butterflies. This was black and let us say this was the grey one. So in the early 18th century, where there were not much of industries in England, at that time there were many forests, and these forests were covered with algae. Algae जो होता है, जो तुम्हारा ट्री पे वगैरह हो जाता है. You can also see algae on lakes and everything. So because of this algae, the trees used to look grey in color. Okay, because the trees were covered with algae, because there were dense forests and the trees were covered with algae, the trees used to appear grey in color. So what used to happen, as this grey moth and black moth जब दोनों बैठ जाते थे, तो जो grey moth था, that used to get camouflaged, वो छुप जाता था, तो दिखता कौन था? Black moth दिखता था. So mostly the birds and everything used to attack black moth. So what happened? Black moth जो है, वो automatically उनका जो संख्या था, their population dwindled, their population reduced. They were on the verge of extinction. काले मॉथ जो थे, बिकॉज वो आराम से दिख जाते थे, वो एक्सटिंक्ट होने के नजदीक आ चुके थे. बट आफ्टर 18th century, so now see here what happened. Automatically the nature selected the grey moth to live. Black moth automatically कम होने लगे, तो नेचर ने किसको सिलेक्ट किया जीने के लिए? ग्रे मॉथ को किया. फिर तो दोनों थे, लेकिन नेचर ने किसको सिलेक्ट किया? ग्रे मॉथ को किया ना. सो ग्रे मॉथ का संख्या बढ़ने लगा. But after 18th century, industry started to develop in United Kingdom. So then what used to happen, because of this carbon, the trees started looking black. Because of the carbon and everything, जो तुम्हारे पेड़ थे वो काले बन चुके थे. अब पेड़ काले बन गए, तो ये जो black moth थे, grey moth थे, दोनों बैठ जाते थे. So now the black moth used to get camouflaged. वो छुप जाता था. दिखता कौन था? Grey moth दिखता था. So grey moth दिखता था, तो bird किसको खाएगा? Grey moth को खाता था ना. So now what has happened? Now in England, these grey moths are very close to extinction. So automatically क्या हुआ? नेचर ने किसको सिलेक्ट किया? ब्लैक को सिलेक्ट किया. So भले ही दोनों फिट थे, पहले किसको सिलेक्ट किया नेचर ने? ब्लैक ग्रे मॉथ को किया था, तो उनकी संख्या बढ़ गई. अब किसको सिलेक्ट करके रखा हुआ है? ब्लैक मॉथ को. अब उनकी संख्या बढ़ गई. So that is how फिटनेस के अलावा भी there is something called as natural selection. नेचर ऑटोमेटिकली किसी ना किसी को सिलेक्ट करती है, and this phenomena is called as natural selection. Alright. So after we have discussed Darwin, so Darwin ने क्या बोला? Darwin ने बोला कि कौन जिएगा? उसने बोला कि कौन जिएगा? Now Lamarck was a person who said how do animals evolve? उसने जीने की बात नहीं की, उसने क्या बोला कि animals develop कैसे हो रहे, evolve कैसे, जैसे कि हम we have evolved from apes to humans. ये हम evolve क्यों हुए, वो रीजन किसने दिया? Lamarck ने दिया. Again, let us differentiate. Darwin said who will live on Earth, and Lamarck said who will evolve on Earth. So as per this Lamarck's principle, see Lamarck ने अपनी थ्योरी को बोला theory of use and disuse. उसके हिसाब से जो भी anything that you are using the most, जिस भी ऑर्गन को तुम्हारे बॉडी के तुम सबसे ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करोगे, तुम्हारे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में ऑटोमेटिकली इवॉल्व होके आएगा. Like for example, look at us now. We humans, we use our brains a lot. So what is happening? The generation that we are giving birth to automatically is more smarter than the previous generation. So this is use and disuse. जैसे कि हमारा वो देखो ना, so टेल बोलो, हम लोग टेल को इस्तेमाल नहीं करते थे तो टेल चला गया. So disuse था ना वो, तो वो चला गया. And जो ज़्यादा यूज करोगे वो इवॉल्व होगा, जो यूज नहीं करोगे वो निकल जाएगा. This is what Lamarck said, and because of this, things evolve, animals evolve. Okay, remember what he said. He said the morphological changes occurring in living organism are responsible. तुम्हारी बॉडी में जो भी चेंज आ रहा है वो क्यों आ रहा है? That is because of activeness और laziness of organism. तुम अगर कोई चीज को ज्यादा एक्टिवली इस्तेमाल करोगे तो वो डेवलप होगा, कुछ को नहीं करोगे वो डेवलप नहीं होगा. सिंपल. Okay, in order to prove Lamarck's principle, let us take example of this giraffe. Okay, usually giraffes and zebras have got common ancestors. So it is said that in this African climate there was huge shortage of grass. So one part of the zebra community migrated, and the other part of this, you can say, zebra-like community, they stayed. And what they started doing, they started extending their necks. They started to eat leaves of the trees. So what they did in the whole lifetime, उन्होंने अपने नेक को सबसे ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल किया. क्यों? उसको वो लोग खींच के ऊपर की तरफ लीफ खाते थे. So automatically उनके जो बच्चे हुए वो zebra-like animal के, they had longer necks. And as usual, as the time passed, from these zebra-like animals, giraffes were formed. So you can say zebras and giraffes have got the same origin. जो चले गए, they got converted into zebras, and who stayed there and अपनी गर्दन का जिन्होंने ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल किया, they got converted into giraffes. So that is how this zebra-like animal evolved into a giraffe. क्यों? Because of use of more use of this neck.